Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Linda. Good morning. Guys, welcome to another 60 minutes with Mother Nature. Um, I may have to start shooting at 8 instead of 7. I'm gonna make it official, guys. Just sorting my way out, but it's back to school, and I had to readjust my time so that I can facilitate dropping off my son. You know, so I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna work out the days exactly. I'm trying to establish a clear pattern. Remember, I didn't start this just for the purpose of just doing something. This was really my carved out time that I decided to just share. Because as I said, I started out doing these 60 minutes with Mother Nature because I realized that I was too consumed with work and didn't have enough time to spend in Mother Nature to rejuvenate and to revive, and to give me the energy and the that I need in order to function. And so that's what pretty much the 60 minutes with Mother Nature is. It's just a time to absorb before I face my day. So this morning, I decided to change the scenes a little bit. So I'm going to show you around the breathtaking view that I have. I'm actually in a place called Folly Oval. Good morning. This morning I'm Folly. I'm in Folly Oval. So I'm going to show you how breathtaking this is. So this is actually the town of Port Antonio. It's actually Port Antonio. So let me just show you. Let me just give you a view of the bay. Um, so pretty much that's the bay. That is the bay, guys. Very, very nice and very tranquil setting. So it's like, all of this is a bay. It's natural, it's nice and windy. And this morning I wanted to look at some of the plants that are by the ocean because we're going to talk about the different types of herbs, salty herbs, and so on and so forth. And that's the lush hills, that is the lush hillsides of Port Antonio. So that's where I'm from this morning. And this morning, I want to take a look at some of the herbs that grow along this section. So I'm looking at maybe two of those herbs this morning. Um, just send the link out, and let me give you some time to do that. Um, this morning, I just want to remind you of our meeting. If you have not yet joined our Telegram group, I would encourage you to do so. There's a link in the description of this video. I would love for you to join our Telegram community so that we can share with you. I have a very lofty goal. Good morning, Chair C. So nice to see you guys. We're having a community meeting, and I'm going to sharing with you just how you can help us in our efforts. So, as you may know, some of you may know about our 12 by 12 by 12 by 12 by 12 herbal initiative, which is I call it our 12 by 12 by 12 herbal revival initiative. And it's basically an initiative that I'm embarking on to teach 12,000 persons 120 herbs in their immediate setting by the 12th month. And basically, I want to share that with you. So if you know of anybody that's interested in herbs, that would love to learn about herbs and would want to be immersed in that experience in a very practical way, then you need to send the link. Yeah, it's a very beautiful scene. It's like a postcard. Yeah, I'm gonna share it with you again. So this morning and tomorrow, I have some great news. We do have. I've actually finished. Good morning, Annie Frederick. This morning, I've actually finished. I've actually completed our 12 medicinal. Morning, Sharon. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here with us this morning. Sharon is also one of my students, and I'm glad to have you guys. So, Sharon, you're one of those persons who I know will definitely, uh, you know, can help us. Yeah, we're embarking on our 12 by 12 by 12 herbal revival initiative, and that is. So I want you to help me, Sharon. Sharon, um, I don't remember if you're in our. Tell me, are you in the Kinder Wellness community? because I know you can add so much value to that. I want your help. I know it's a loaf to dream. I want you to help us uh, to help 12,000 persons to learn 120 herbs in their immediate surrounding by the 12th month. So we are going all out against herbal illiteracy. One of the things that Jamaica enjoyed for a very long time is like typically, all right, it's in the link at the description, Sharon. Just go down, scroll down, and you'll see it in the description of the video. You'll see the link to join the community. All right, let me just put this down. It's in the link to join the community. So I'd love for you to be there. We're having a meeting tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Yeah, at 7 p.m. And I'd love for you, through your network as well, to see how we can do that. If there's a college and some person, I mean, what's the difference between the college? Well, the college is it's very in depth. A lot of what we're going to be doing in the 12 by 12 initiative, a lot of what we do in the kinder wellness community is like practical, but it's very surface. If you want to take a deep dive and immerse yourself in herbs, then you want to get registered in our program. There's also a link in the description if you want to do that. If you go into the description, you'll see a link basically to 2 tools that you're going to need. One of them is a herbal a journal, and the other. All right, Ian. I'll message you after, or you can WhatsApp me. It's my number is 876-365-1131. That's 876-365-1131. Or better yet, if you want to, because you can join our Telegram group. We have a Telegram group. I'm pushing the Telegram group, guys, because I'm really against herbal illiteracy. Anybody who know me would have known that my mantra, one of my philosophy, is that the greatest weapon against sickness and disease is education, not medication. So I'm seeking every opportunity possible to get that out. All right, so this morning, in our 60 minutes with Mother Nature, I want to look at some herbs here by the ocean. And so there's a chart. There's a chart in the video. Good, you found it, Sharon. There's a chart in the video. There's a link in the video. I believe it's called 12 medicinal herbal taste, 12 medicinal herb taste guide. 12 medicinal herb taste guide. It's one of the tools that we're going to need it's one of the tools that you're going to need to learn all the herbs, the different herbs out there. And what it is basically is it's our ancestors learned herbs, or they learned the medicinal uses of herbs by interacting with them. And so what that chart does is that it helps you to identify the medicinal uses of herbs using the 5 senses. And so one of the herbs one of the herbal characteristics, or one of the 12 tastes that you are going to find, is what we've called salty herbs. Salty herbs. Hopefully the next time I'm on live, I'll have one of the chart so that I can show you, but you can get your own chart. You can just go to that link and you can get your copy. You can print it out because it's a e-version. So you can print it, laminate it, and it's going to be one of the tools you're going to need. All right. So after tomorrow, I'll go more into the 2 tools that you're going to need, which is the herbal journal and the chart. So that when we're actually doing this herb walk after Wednesday, it's going to take on a whole different note, because it's going to be more immersive. Because what I want in the group is not just to show the videos that I'm doing, but I'm going to want persons identify, after we help you to identify the herbs, then we're going to guide you as to how to record it so that you can pretty much have your own herbal pharmacy. So the goal of this initiative is to help persons to develop their own herbal pharmacy based on the herbs in their immediate setting. Because a lot of the times people are sick. I mean, there are persons right now who are getting ready to go to the hospital, who are getting ready to go to the clinic. And a lot of them are going to walk past the medicine, the natural remedy. They're going to walk on the natural remedy. to go to their healthcare provider when the natural remedy is right in their yard. What's happening to them is that they are ignorant of the medicine. They are ignorant of the tools in their yard. And so we want to change that. A couple of years ago, 30, 40 years ago, the typical grandma, the typical granduncle, when you got sick, you would say, Johnny, go up the road and tell Mass D, say, me not feeling well, what him have good for me. Morning Mahat. And the remedy would have been sent. And in a very small period of time, the person would be on their way to recovery. What we have done is that we have not valued that system of medicine. We have not valued that indigenous or that traditional medicine art form, and so we have lost it. What I want to do is I want to help to revive it. So 50 years later, what has happened to Jamaica is that we have a society where we have persons, Morning Levi, we have persons that are very conscious about herbs. We have persons that are very believed in it, but that knowledge does not exist. And this morning, as I was coming out, one thing I wanted to talk about is a disconnect that we have. And so most of our natural healers, and believe me, we have phenomenal natural healers in Jamaica. We have some great natural healers, not just in Jamaica, but in the Caribbean. Some of the greatest natural healers are found in Jamaica and the Caribbean. What we are not doing is that we are not working in a systematic way to document and to preserve and to protect and to provide continuity of that information. And I would say, I'm not, that is what my input is. That is what I want to change. I want to bring all of these phenomenal healers together in a way where we can have a system where we can record that wisdom, we can protect that wisdom, and we can continue to set up a system of continuity of that information. One of the worst thing that I can ever see, ever come across, because the word doctor comes from the word doctrine. It means to teach. So a natural healer in every sense of the word is somebody who pretty much spends more time teaching, spends more time helping persons to understand, and then guiding them as to what is the best option. And so when I started out very early, and I'm gonna just share this, and I'm gonna talk about these herbs. But when I started out early, I came across a lot of selfishness. I came across a lot of natural healers who believed or behaved that they had a copyright on the knowledge that they had. And so while learning, sometimes it was if I was extracting a tooth from some of these persons when I asked questions I wanted to learn. And so I decided that, once I get in, I'm going to change that whole approach. And so one of the things that I believe is what I call decentralized information. So I try very hard to decentralize what I know. Morning, Ozelia. One of the things I try to do is to decentralize what I know. Babylon will want to come after you. If you're a very good healer, you are setting yourself up for Babylon to exterminate you when you've created a centralized system of knowledge. And so when you believe that, there's some amount of being responsible, not being irresponsible, and being responsible with the knowledge that you know, because I know it's kind of like your what you're gonna make your living from. But and I'm making a living from what I'm doing, and I share everything. So if you're a very good healer, if you want to become a very good healer, and even those persons who are aspiring to come into the field of natural medicine and to be very good healers, I would say to you, never come with the understanding that what you have, you're going to try to keep it to yourself so that you can remain relevant and so that you can remain competitive. It's one of the biggest mistake that you can make. Because one thing that you're doing is that you're setting yourself up to be exterminated. It's very easy for the system to exterminate somebody who has built a centralized repository of knowledge around themselves. It's very easy. And so what I want to do and what I'm doing is I'm doing what I call decentralized education. I'm decentralizing what I know. So it's going to be very difficult. Even if you get rid of me, even if Babylon gets rid of me tomorrow, I've put in place a system where there's going to be a duplication of what I know. Yeah. So one way, if you want to be a good doctor, if you want to be a good healer, if you want to be a good practitioner, and at the same time don't risk or expose yourself to the risk of being eliminated, what you have to do is to create a decentralizing system of disseminating what you know. You want to duplicate yourself in others. And so that's one of the things I want to do. But when I came in, I saw so many healers who were so selfish. You know, things that they knew, things that they could pass on, they were just some selfish. And it's funny because, you know, I'm looking here, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. So I see 4 herbs that I'm going to talk about, because these 4 herbs are all salty herbs. And I just realized that most of the herbs that are growing here, come to think of it, most of the herbs that are growing right here are predominantly salty herbs. Now, salty herbs, one of the things that salty herbs do, when you taste a herb and it's salty, one of the things that herb does, the major property of that herb, because again, when you get the chart, what the chart is also going to teach you, what we talk about a lot, the chart is going to teach you what medicines the plant have, as well as what the cells of the body need. In order to be an effective practitioner, what you have to do as a healer as it relates to herbology, you have to become very skillful in matching 2 things. You have to be very skillful in matching what the medicinal plants have, and they tell you. Nature has designed, you know, the creator, Yahuwah has created nature in such a way that nature talks to us. Nature tells us what it does. And I mean, if you move a muscle, you know, if you move a muscle, there's actually an opposite reaction with another muscle. In other words, for one muscle to contract, another muscle had to relax. Every action in the body has an equal and opposite reaction. And again, so I'll talk about some of the features of the chart. One of the things that the chart does, and in teaching any, when you teach anything, you have to teach a balancedness of that information. So one of the things that the chart has is that it teaches about the salty herbs. The same time you're teaching about salty herbs, in other words, when you taste a herb and it's salty, that salt is telling you what properties is in the herb. So most salty herbs, all over. You said that you have a lot. Yeah, you will always have a lot of salty herbs growing near the ocean, and salty herbs are responsible for diseases that are inflammatory. The chart is in the description. There's a link to the chart in the description of this video. So there are 12 medicinal tastes. All right, so there are 12 medicinal tastes. And the chart is in the description, and the chart is going to be one of the tools that we're going to need for the journey. So the 12 by 12 by 12 journey, 12,000 persons. I want to teach 12,000 persons, 120 herbs in their immediate setting by the 12th month. There are 2 tools that you're going to need to do that. One of them is going to be your herbal journal, and the other is going to be the 12 medicinal taste chart. I'm going to do a video just on explaining how to use these tools. But you know, if you know, but it's very simple. When you identify the herbs, you're going to record it in the journal. It's just that the journal has pre-built headings or pre-built topics that you will fill out. So there are so for example, it has like the common name. You're going to record the common name of the herb. There is the scientific name. You're going to record the scientific name. Then there's the family that the herb comes from. And I'm going to go in depth in explaining why these topics are there and why you need to know them. All right. But the two tools are already in the description. So I keep being rerouted. So this morning I was going to talk about 2 herbs, but I see 4 of them that I want to talk about, and I'm seeing 5 of them. And as I look wider, most of the herbs that are growing along the ocean shore are salty herbs. So that's pretty much kind of forced me to talk a little bit about salty herbs and what do salty herbs do. So salty herbs is one of the 12 medicinal herb tastes. When you taste a herb and it is salty herbs predominantly, so there are other benefits and there are other ingredients in it, but salty herbs, the major property of a salty herb is to provide nourishment to the body, number 1. It is to break up tumors. So if you have tumor, if you have a swelling, anything like that, then salty herbs go to work to discharge them. I'm talking about brain tumor. I'm talking about stuff like calcifications. So if you have calcifications in the blood vessels, in the blood vessels wall, calcification of the bone, calcification of the ligaments, and by the way, calcification of the ligaments causes inflammation. So let me give you an example. There are some tumors that one of the reasons why it's difficult to break them up is because they have become calcified. Everybody who has tumors, thank you, EM, anybody who has tumors, one of the reasons why it's difficult to get rid of it is because it's calcified. So what you're going to find is that it will have some soft tissues, but then when you feel it, there's a hard tissue. There's a hard part of it. That the soft tissue can be broken down by the body. The body can go to work and the body can break it down. But then when you reach to that calcified part, it's like a stone. So let me give you an example. If you're having bone spur, a lot of persons who are having, and again, this is general information. A lot of persons who are having pinched nerve, some pinched nerve is caused by trauma to the back. So you've met in a car accident or you fell. A lot of persons have pinched nerve because of that. But let me tell you why. A lot of persons have pinched nerve because of calcification of their bones. So what it is called bone spur. Now, when you have bone spur, one of the things that you're going to have is also heel spur, which is also a calcification of the bone. So your bone begins to grow like dendrites. It begins to grow bumps, or it begins to grow pointed areas on it. So you have protrusion, and those protrusion, if it's under your foot and you're standing up, then you're going to find that you have a pain. But you're gonna have when it starts out, when it just starts out, you're gonna start out with burning in your legs, a burning sensation in your leg, and then it escalates you up. You don't listen to that. Then the body sends a ticket to the brain and says, "Hey, John isn't responding. John doesn't understand what's happening. Send this escalation." The body escalates that sensation, burning sensation, to where you start to feel a more intense pain. And you don't start to pay attention, and the body, so the body keeps on setting it for escalation. Now, guess what happened? Now, the body won't stop escalating until it gets your attention. Most of the time, you're having so that's under your foot, in your vertebral column, in your backbone. When you start to have those dendrites will protrude and they start to touch nerves. Then you start to have pinched nerves. Most times, even if you go and take and there are specific tests that you have to do, you're still feeling the problem. So you're having calcifications, and I could talk about so many different calcifications. So there's calcifications of the tendons, there's calcification of the joints, there's calcification of the muscle. I think people watching this live, and it's not hard to just touch like button. Thank you, Ian. Thank you so much. So you're having calcification. Well, if you're having calcification, and that's and there's calcification of the cells, which is what some tumors are. When you have some tumors, some cancers being formed, cancers in the form of tumors, what happens is that you have sometimes connective tissues being formed. I mean, guys, I need to explain to you how amazing your body is when it's going to work. And that's why it's amazing when I see people that are so fearful for disease. Your body only knows two things. Your body only knows to heal itself, and your body only knows to protect itself. There's two things the body is very good at: healing itself and protecting itself. So a lot of times what we call disease is the body trying to heal itself and the body trying to protect itself. So the body finds a foreign matter. And this is what a tumor is. I wonder if I have enough time. I wonder if I have enough time to just explain this to you. And then I'm going to talk about these herbs. And I'm going to show you how nature is so powerful, and how when you understand what's happening, you appreciate and you don't worry. You give honor and praise to the Most High, because you know that his job is to make us well. So let me see if I can give you two examples. And I'm a bit overwhelmed now. But let's stay focused. All right, so you're having calcification. Let's talk about a tumor's calcification. So a tumor. So there is a cancerous tumor being formed, and so there's connective tissues that are coming together, and there are veins that are coming together. The veins are coming together to nourish the tumor. The connective tissues are coming together to protect the tumor, and the body is protecting something. It's creating a barrier. It's because most time when you have a tumor, at the center of that tumor is cancerous cells. So cancerous cells are there. The body says, well, I'm protecting the rest of the body from these cancerous cells, so I'm going to create a waste receptacle. So the body is reasoning. I'm going to create a waste receptacle, a bin to contain this tumor. So it goes to work, and it begins to send the white blood cells, and the white blood cell, morning Mitzi, the white blood cell goes to work. First line of defense, the white blood cells go to work, and they kill themselves. They commit suicide in order to try to neutralize, and in doing so, they create a barrier around the tumor. That's how it starts out first. That's why the minute you start to get, you have an infection, your white blood cell count starts to go up. So it goes and it creates it seeks to contain. So it seeks to contain, and then the connective tissues now begin to grow over it to protect it. The body is reasoning that cancer cells are accumulating at a rapidly dangerous rate, and I don't want it to spread to the entire body. So I'm going to contain it, and then I'm going to try to push it to the surface, and I'm going to open the skin, and I'm going to cause whatever is on the inside to leak out. That's why you have boils. So boils, cysts, all of those is the body's attempt to create a waste receptacle to cause whatever is on the inside to run out. And that is the reason, man, this is so much. This is just so much, guys. This is just so much. This is just so much. As I'm opening so many can of worms. But the body is trying to create a waste receptacle to try to push it to the surface of the skin. And there are two types of tumors. There's those that are close to the skin, and there are those that are close inside the body's cavity. It's a different way we approach the ones that are deeper inside the body cavity versus those who are closer to the skin. Those that are inside the body cavity, we have to deal with them totally different from those who are closer to the skin. So let's talk about one of those tumors that's close to the skin. Let's talk about one of those. So let's talk about a breast tumor. So a breast tumor is on the breast, and the body senses that there is cancer cells rapidly growing. So it immediately sends in the white blood cells. The white blood cells goes in, they contain the area. Once they contain the area, they start to quarantine and protect whatever is on the inside. You're not paying attention, so it starts to create the connective tissues. Those connective tissues, after a period of time, they're going to get hardened, they're going to get tough. So when you look at the breast tumor, what you're going to find is that there's some soft parts of it, and then there are some very tough part of it that's very difficult to penetrate. Well, what I want to say to you is that once you find calcification like that, what helps is salty herbs. And salty herbs help wherever the tumor is, whether it is in the bone, not in the tumor, wherever the calcification is, wherever the calcification is, salty herbs help. So let me give an example. Somebody who has dendrites on the bone, one of the king of salty herbs is a herb called celery. One of the king of salty herbs is a herb called celery. And as it relates to the celery, one of the most effective part of the celery is the celery seed. That is the reason why you have what is called celery seed salt. Do not underestimate the power of the celery seed salt. It is a very, very extremely powerful herb as it relates. All right, child of a king. All right, I hear you. The best way, celery. The best way to get me, child of a king, is to join the Telegram group. The link is in the description. Once you join the Telegram group, you have like direct connection to me because my number is there. I'm there. It's easy to message me. The best way to get me is to join the Telegram community because I'm a part of the community. You know, when you live in the same community, you see the same guy every day. So the best way to get me is join the community. So one of the king of salty herbs is celery seed. I have so many persons who have come to me with pinched nerve. So many persons who have come to me with heel spur. So many persons who have come to me with calcification of tendons, calcification of their joints, calcification of their of even in their eye, because calcification takes place in so many parts of the body. And we just started to give them salty herbs, and it made all the difference. So there are times, sometimes when you're treating certain tumors, and you only can do so much and no more. You can use some herbs, and what it will do is that it will disintegrate the part of the tumor that is soft. But then you can't go any further because you've now bucked up on the calcified, hardened part of it. You need something natural that can break that calcification down. Another good herb is castor oil. If I wonder, you see why castor oil is so powerful in terms of breaking down making a poultice from Himalayan salt. Salty herbs are very powerful because what it does is that it destroys calcification. And once it destroys calcification prevents penetration. A lot of times, the herb cannot penetrate the cells to go in to do what it is supposed to do. One of the things that makes that difference is salty herbs. So I'm at the seaside. I'm going to look at some salty herbs. So now, in the chart, not in the chart, but I talk about herbs because herbs naturally grow where the conditions that they are needed for is very dominant and prevalent. So people who live near the ocean or people who live in the seaside, people who come from those places, what you'll find in those areas predominantly growing are salty herbs because the majority of the ailments that they are going to have is going to be related to that. All right? So in the chart, what we talk about is salty herbs, how to identify salty herbs through the taste, We talk about what are the properties of salty herbs. And then on the chart, we talk about what tissue states salty herbs would be most relevant to. Remember, herbs tell us their medicinal properties. They tell us what their medicinal properties are. We just need to develop the skills of interpreting what the herbs are saying. Now, once you develop that skill, the next thing that you need to do to be an effective healer is you need to be able to successfully match the medicinal properties of the herb to the need that the cells have. When cells are in crisis, they also tell you what they need. If you know what to look for, you can interpret what the cells need. When you are able to successfully match what the cells need to what the herbs provide, then you would have successfully been able to establish harmony. And so what I love, one thing about the chart is that in teaching the effects of salty herbs, you have to almost immediately teach the effects of the opposite of salty herbs. You cannot learn the herbal property of a herb while not simultaneously learning the opposite properties to that herb. So let me give you an example. Let us say you condition, you had, for example, calcification, and for whatever reason, you use too much salty herbs. You also need to know what is the opposite of salty herbs so that you can reverse that action. In other words, while you are learning the yin, you must also learn the yang. While you are learning the property of a herb, you must also learn the opposite properties of that herb. So that just in case you do something and, for example, you did a little bit too much, you know what is the herb that will have the opposite effect. That is on the chart. That is how we teach the chart. So on the 12 medicinal taste, the reason why there's 12 is because 6 is the opposite of the other 6. All right, so when you learn the properties of medicinal herbs and when you learn what salty herbs do to the cells of the body, at the same time on the opposite side of the chart, you're also going to learn what is the herb opposite to salty herbs. What are the opposite herbs to salty herbs? And every medicinal taste that you learn, we also teach the opposite of that medicinal taste. So you almost always have to learn the opposite of every medicinal taste at the same time. You have to learn them because that is how health is balanced. Remember that in order to have health, you have to have harmony. In order to have harmony, you have to have balance. So it is understanding the tools to use them to acquire balance. What we are trying to do is to remove the imbalance, because a lot of times persons are sick because of imbalance in the body. Most of the time what we're trying to do is to bring the body back into alignment, back into balance. And so it's understanding. As I said, if you notice, the body is made in pairs. There's 2 eyes. There's like a symmetrical opposite in the body. And so the body works like that. And so in bringing the body and restoring the body to health, you also have to work like that. Oh, now, who is Im? Yeah, I'm wishing you all viewers great. Yeah. Im. Where are you watching from, Im? It's the first time I'm seeing you, but I'm so glad to have you. And as I said, that there's a link in the description to join our community. I love your energy. I'd love for you to be a part of our community. As I said, this is the type of knowledge I want to share with you. I want to see you guys. Mahat, morning. Im is in Toronto, morning. EM is in Toronto. I can't wait to meet you in the group, EM. And so let's look now at some of these. Let's look at some of these herbs, because I've been talking so much, but I wanted to lay the groundwork. So this is the knowledge that I want to disseminate. I want to share. I want every single one of you to be empowered, because there's a time coming when logistics is not going to be an option. One of the reasons I teach the way I teach is because it's about empowering persons to be effective wherever they are. Because even though Jamaican herb is so powerful, and the goal is really to get so many Jamaicans to buy into what I'm saying, the goal is to get so many of my people to buy into what I'm saying, because one of the things is that most of the drugs, most of the medicine that is out there, do you have wild celery there? Yeah, we have wild celery here. A lot of the people, a lot of our people, morning Deborah, a lot of our people, I don't know if you know it, but most of the drugs, most of the medicine that we are taking was not designed based on our biology. Most of the medicine that we take, can you overdose on natural alkaline herbs? Very good question. Here's the thing. The body, too much of anything is not good. Because remember, we just spoke about balance. You can eat yourself into imbalance, right? You can eat yourself into imbalance. I mean, can you drink too much water? As much as water is good for you, can you drink too much water? Yes. As much as oxygen is good for you, can oxygen be destructive? Yes. So everything that is yin can become yang if it is not used properly. And everything that is yang can become yin if it is not being used properly. A lot of times it's a context. And so, yes, you can. Because, life is a balance. Everything is intended to be accepted. It's intended to be consumed in a balanced setting. All right. So it's very important for us to understand that. So this is the knowledge that we want to get out there. This is what I want to share. I want you to help me as much as you can, brethren. As I was saying, the point I was making is that most of the foods that we eat was not designed based on our biology. Have you ever wondered why Black people of African descent, have the highest rate of hypertension, highest rate of cardiovascular disease, highest rate of every kind of cancer, highest rate of diabetes, every disease known to man? And do your own research. Every disease known to man is highest among people of African descent than any other ethnicity. It is because our food and our medicine is not complementary to our biology. It is not complementary to our DNA. And so we have allowed ourselves to be fed and medicated by a system that does not cater for us. Your health is your responsibility. Your health is your responsibility. And so what I said to persons is that if you look at the herbs that is growing in any geographical location, the herbs and the food that is growing there, it is always going to be complementary to the biology of the people of that soil. We have not done well in educating ourselves as to the fact that we are uniquely different. And this is not to try to put down anybody, but it's a fact. We are uniquely different. It is the reason why it is being used against us. Our biology is uniquely different, and that is the reason why it is on that basis why we are the victims of ill health in every country in the face of the world. And so part of what we need to do is that we need to, first of all, recognize that, accept that, and begin to take responsibility. So what I want to do is I want to empower persons to understand the dynamics of what they have around them. One of the reasons why, as much as Babylon tries to fight against natural medicine. Can fasting while taking herbs cause stomach ulcers? That's a good question. Again, it's based on the type of herbs that you take. Remember, we talk about the 12 medicinal herb taste. When a person is fasting, a person has forced their body. When a person goes into fasting, they're doing a number of things. One, you're forcing your body to go into crisis mode. And crisis mode is when the body becomes, the immune system becomes very active, the body becomes very absorbent, the body begins to restrict a number of activities because it senses that it is in crisis. And so it's very absorbent. Some of the herbs that can cause ulcers that can affect the body is herbs that are pungent or herbs that are aromatic. So herbs from that medicinal taste, you wouldn't necessarily want to take a lot of that. Again, as I said, it's based on understanding the 12 medicinal tastes. Everything that I teach and everything that I do is based on what the tissues are saying. We don't take herbs or take medicines because it is what is popular. A lot of persons follow the fad and the excitement. And so if a herb is being spoken about a lot, if a herb is in the spotlight, then that is the herb that is pursued. A lot of times, guys, you're setting yourself up because remember that Babylon can put focus on a particular herb, or they can put focus on something in an effort to hurt you. So we take instructions from nature. We take instructions from the body. The scripture, Yahuwah has made us. The scripture says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. I don't think we understand that. We are fearfully. That word fear means respect. We've got to learn to respect this. We've got to understand that this is more than $1 trillion pharmacy. This is more than there's no price that can be attached to the value of this body and what it can do, what it is capable of. We don't understand what this body is capable of, and so we approach it with an underestimatingly approach. This body is fearfully made. What we are doing through the medicinal taste is we're exploring the medicinal lab capacity and ability of the body. That's what we're exploring. We're exploring because what we are doing with the plants, what our ancestors did with the plant, they had to send it to a lab to get. When they wanted to know the medicinal benefits, when they want to know the medicinal benefit of plants, they send it to a lab. Well, I'm telling you, your body is a lab. Your body has the capability and the tools to identify and to determine the medicinal properties of a plant. It's just that we have not been training it. So we need to train the body. And once you begin to train the body just begins to line up. And so let's look at some of these herbs, guys. The first one that I want to look at is a herb called wild indigo. Wild indigo. Wild indigo. It's one of the most identifiable feature are the pods. This is the yellow indigo, but of course it grows in purple as well. And this is a herb that is very effective for soothing and relieving ulcers, swellings. If you have swellings, this is a very effective herb in helping to relieve that. And so I said to persons that this is a herb that when you're using it, if you're having any type of swelling, if you're having any type, I said to you before that marigold is a vegetable. It's a salty herb. And you can get it, you don't have to dry it. You can just get this herb and you can macerate it And you can put it on any swelling, any type of inflammation. And that's the yellow indigo, wild indigo again. And that herb basically will help to break up any type of mucus, not mucus, any type of calcification. So you're having a tumor and it's calcified, that herb will help to break it up. In addition, most of these grass that you're seeing, all grass, most of these grass are salty. And notice guinea grass, I have 8 minutes. Let me see if I can show you this grass. Guinea grass, this is a grass that, if you ever wonder why it makes the cows them so fat, it's loaded with fiber. I use it, I blend it in my green juice. I'm gonna show you the part that I use. So I try to find guinea grass and I use the middle section. So I wouldn't take it from here because this is just so much in the open. But let me just show you. So this is good old guinea grass. And what I would do is get the middle section. The inner leaves, the more softer leaves. I will get the more softer leaves. And I would cut them up. Cut it up till I get about 2 handfuls. Hold on. Yeah, marigold. Cheers. I would cut it up and I would blend it with carrot or any other vegetable that I have. And it's also an excellent diuretic. Salty herbs are also, well, one thing that salty herbs do is that they soften calcification and they also cause fluid to come out. So they pull fluid. All right, so this is the guinea grass, and I use guinea grass as a juice. I use it as a vegetable, and when I use it as a vegetable, I have experience. So it's a very nice salty as well. Yeah. Let me turn the camera around. And it is this herb. It's called Brazilian bay hops. Notice it grows a purple flower. And you know about purple flowers, they're very rich in iron. So purple flower, Brazilian bay hops. And it grows mostly in sea areas. I also see some Spanish needle, not a salty herb. Not a salty herb. Where is it? Oh, up there. Not a salty. All right, guys, I have to cut my. It's raining. I have to cut the live short because it's raining. Let me go around here and finish up. But I wanted to let me show you the Spanish needle very quickly. The Spanish needle. That's it. Guys, I have to run. Sit there. The rain is coming. Rain is coming. The rain is coming. The rain is coming. All right. Hold on, guys. All right. Woo. All right, guys. So it is raining. So that's all we're going to be able to do today. But I hope I did get a chance to share enough with you. As I said, guys, if you're not yet a part of our Telegram community, then you need to join our Telegram community. There's a link in the description. All you need to do is go on over, click on the link, join our community. That's the best way to gain access to me. I need your help. Guys, I need your help. This is something that has rested strongly on me, and I don't know what's going to happen next year, but I need to help 12,000 persons to learn 120 herbs in their immediate settings by the 12th month, by December. So you can help by coming over in the Telegram group. If you're a part of any social media platform, we need your ideas, whatever material we have that you can post on your social media platform to help us to get the word out there. I would love that. If you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, if you're whatever platform that you're on, if you're into social media, if you're somebody who has that knowledge, we would also need your help, because I want to shout out Kayla, who is our admin in our Telegram group. She's our head admin. We need more admin. If you believe that you could serve in that capacity, then we would love to have you helping us out. Whatever ideas, we're having a meeting tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can jump on, and if you can be a part of that chat, and if you can share with us ideas that you have, if you're a part of any group, social media group, if you're a part of any Telegram group, WhatsApp group, any group that you're a part of that you believe can benefit from this knowledge, and please let us know. And we're going to do our best to put some form of marketing material out there that you can share with those groups to encourage them to come on over and to help us. All right, so I want to thank you for being on. Thank you for the questions. I love getting the question, because sometimes it derails me, but most times it helps to get more information out there. So guys, that's what we're pushing. We want to get this knowledge out there. If you're interested in going deeper, then there's a Boston Institute of Natural Medicine. A lot of what we're going to go through from a surface level in the 12 by 12 initiative is going to be gone through it in a more in-depth way. The 12 by 12 by 12 Herbal Revival Initiative is geared towards persons who just want to have practical knowledge. But if you want to, thank you, Adriana. If you want to immerse yourself, if you're thinking about becoming a practitioner, then the Boston Institute is where you need to be. And there's also a link in the description. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for doing these walks, for coming out and for sharing with you. It's my absolute pleasure. I'll be in Florida next week, Monday. So next week, Monday, I'll be in Florida. I'll be in Bradenton, and I'd love to meet, as many of you that I can catch up with. I'd love to meet up with you, friends, just to share the vision, just to share this passion, and try to pass on this contagion, especially in our Black communities there. I believe, especially people from the Caribbean and the Caribbean diaspora. As I said, that if you're part of any platform that you believe we can use to get this message out there, then I'll be more than happy to be a part of that. All right. I want to thank you guys for taking the time out to be with me. And until I won't be on live, tomorrow is Wednesday. I won't be on Thursday morning. I'll be on Friday, but I'll put some structure to it. But I'll be on, on Friday morning, and I will be sharing some other herbs, giving some other insights. So, guys, thank you for watching. See you next time, and have a wonderful and productive day. Bye-bye.